Welcome to another episode of the Southern Boating Podcast. I'm Ian Sneed.
I'm James Anderson.
And today we're going to be talking about one main subject. We're going to be talking about our long-range cruisers article from our December issue. Before we begin, remember to subscribe to the channel and click on the first link in the description to get on our newsletter so that you get notifications whenever we have a new video go live. But we also share other boating content that will be relevant to you. With that, let's jump into it. The long-range cruisers. The first thing I want to talk about
You get to go and go far.
Yeah, well, yes, you do.
That's literally what I take from this. You get to go and go 100%. Far.
What you need to know is, that first of all, there's 14 vessels that we cover in this article. So we're not going to be able to cover all of them in this video. We'll cover as much as we can, given the time that we have, but we can't cover all of them, so make sure you check out the article. Secondly, for a long-range cruiser to be a good long-range cruiser, it has to have a sturdy hull. It has to be comfortable. You have to have reliable power, the usability, and most importantly, the range. To be in this article, you had to, at the very least, be able to have a range of 1,100 nautical miles at cruising speed. So as you'll hear when we talk about some of the manufacturers and the vessels in this podcast, you're gonna hear some of these ranges. And you're going to see, yes, they definitely can hit that minimum. Okay. With that, I'll kick it off.
Some of them far in excess.
Oh my God, yes. With that, I'm going to kick it off with CL Yachts, the CLX96.
What a beautiful boat.
It's a multi-award winning vessel.
Yeah, and we did a full review on this back in January of 23. And it is stunning, stunning, stunning.
It is stunning. The photo, it's the main photo for the article. It's without a doubt a showstopper. It's like a showstopper.
It's very innovative how they built this boat. So if you're really interested in this boat, tour back in time to our January 23 issue.
Yeah.
And take a read at the full article of this. And I believe even Steve wrote it, and Steve actually was on board with this vessel back then.
Oh, awesome.
And it was, even then, he had the time with Hans, who designed this boat, to actually go into a lot of detail. And it is actually one of my favorite reviews.
So this vessel is clearly elegant when you look at it. There's panoramic windows around. It's 100-foot length overall, 24-foot beam.
No. CLX96 is 96.9 feet. 96 feet, 9 inches.
9 inches. Thanks. 24-foot beam.
You just dropped a secret that's at the end of the paragraph. So
the CLX99?
What Ian is actually referring to is...
You're right. I wrote down the wrong one.
is they are going to build a CLX99 that'll be 100 feet.
It's not a secret if we put it in print.
Well, it was a secret until they were reading it.
Sorry, you're right. I was talking. That was the CLX99 that has 100. That's coming out. It's releasing its newest flagship, and that one has 100-foot length overall, 20-foot beam. The CLX96 has a 96-foot 9-inch beam. I'm sorry. Imagine a 96-foot 9-inch length overall with a 24-foot beam. So same beam size, right? Same beam size.
It's the same hull stretched slightly.
Exactly.
To give you more
space. With just a little bit of extra footage, they can do a ton of stuff. These designers are incredible.
Well, that's a lot of space on a boat to add just a couple of feet.
Oh, yes, absolutely. So that's CL Yachts. Definitely check it out.
So the next one we can go over is Iliad, right?
Oh, yeah.
Iliad catamarans. So the Iliad 62, which is, we've covered the 50 or the 54 in the past. Now, we included the 62 in this one, and this is 62 feet. Now, this is a catamaran, so it has a beam of 27 feet. Pretty impressive. Lots of space on this boat, just like all catamarans. You know, that's the purpose of a catamaran. Really get a very wide beam, lots of additional space.
Lots of stability. There's a lot of fun to that. Yep.
But what I really like about this one is the range, right? And cats are known for being efficient. And that's what's really special about this one. You're talking that this one has more than 3,500 nautical mile range before needing to refuel.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Are you kidding me?
Incredible.
That's really awesome. And it's using twin 600 horsepower Volvo Penta D8 engines, right? So that's, diesel, highly efficient, with the catamaran style, even more efficient. You get 3,500 nautical miles. Let's go,
That's
baby, go and go far.
Oh yeah,
Right?
That's go wherever you want.
You're not kidding.
Yeah, let's go wherever you want.
You're not kidding. So hats off to Iliad for building a vessel like this, because truly, to me, that's something you can go explore in.
Now, another vessel that is, I think it's the same range, it's 3,500 nautical miles.
Range.
This one's at 9 knots, is a vessel we've touched on, right? Both in podcast and it was actually the feature review in our October issue. I'm talking about the Marlow 90V. So length overall, 97 feet, 22-foot, 6-inch beam. This vessel is drop dead gorgeous inside and out.
Yeah, you've been on board it several times now.
Yep.
It is. Every time that I look at this vessel, I'm just awestruck by the color combination. And just in general, Marlow's absolutely beautiful, but this one is just over the top.
Yeah, it really is. They went into every detail for luxury on this one.
Absolutely.
Definitely look into that. Definitely read. If you want a brief synopsis, you want to read the feature here in this article. If you want more in-depth, then check out our article in the October issue. Yep.
So the following one that I'm going to cover here is the Leopard catamarans, right? And this one is the Leopard 53. It is 50 feet, 6 inches. And again, this is a catamaran. So we have a nice wide beam, 25 feet, 2 inches, with a max speed of 24 knots and a range of 1,180 miles at 9.5 knots. Now, what's interesting about this is Leopard has made sailing catamarans for a long time. But instead of just taking the mast off of this boat and slapping some power to it, they completely redesigned the hulls on this. And it is designed specifically to be a power catamaran.
Yes.
And that's what helped it become a long-range cruiser, right? And it is, just like all of Leopard's boats, absolutely phenomenal. If you're in the market for a catamaran, I always suggest looking at Leopard. I was gonna say,
that sounded like Leopard, but I'm not going to say anything. Just
I'm losing my voice today. I've been on the phone too much. But anyways, it's like every Leopard, but even more special now.
Yeah.
So it's just a really great vessel. You know, and there's a reason that the famous charter company is using these.
Yeah.
Right? Because they are dependable, durable, right? And have a range.
Yep.
So
makes total sense.
Again, great for exploring. Charter companies are using them. There's a reason why.
Yeah. Now, this next vessel, this company has an in-house design and engineering team. So when you're looking at the quality, you know it's all taken care of in one location. So there's a lot of trust that goes into that. Now, the length overall is 63 feet 1 inch. The beam is 19 feet 6 inches. And I'm talking about the Kadey-Krogen 60 Open. This is, I took a note because I really do love the side profile on this one as well.
Do you?
I do. It's for me, it's unique. It's
I didn't
fun.
see this as being really your style of boat.
Well, the thing is, you got to remember, it's not my personal style of boat.
That's why when you wrote this down as one that you wanted to cover, I was kind of surprised.
There's something fun to the design to me.
Right.
Like when I look at it, there's something fun to the design, and I don't mean like playful fun. There's just
to me it's
enjoyable.
A modern but yet elegant and classic trawler design.
Yes.
Right? It's got some of the traditional trawler design, but it incorporates a lot of modern technique to it.
Right, and I think that's what makes it fun. Is it's not the same trawler design that a lot of people like to use, but it's not trying to be too creative and artsy. It's its own unique statement.
It's
so
classical.
The design is, it's just fun to me.
It's classical, but
It's
yet
enjoyable.
a modern boat.
Yes, exactly. So that's why I wrote it down as one of my, I want to cover this one.
Okay. Well, now that you explained it to me,
it makes a little more sense, right? Yeah, I love authenticity, and Kadey-Krogen definitely has that.
They give that. And let me tell you something. The team at Kadey-Krogen is phenomenal. They really stand behind their products. It is a family-owned business. They do phenomenally well with it. And it is every time that they've expanded a lot over the last 2 years, right? They've taken on new brands under their wing as well. And I think they're going to do phenomenally well with every brand that they've taken
Without a doubt. Especially when, to include them in the long-range cruiser category, they had to go over 1,100 nautical miles. Well, they deliver a range of more than 4,005 nautical miles cruising at 7 knots.
Right.
They're like,
it's a troll.
They're like, 1,000? We got you.
Yeah, I know, right? But it's really, again, a classic trawler that's very classical looking, but it has all the modern stuff.
Yes, it has. It's just, there's something to it that is so unique. I like it.
I don't blame you. I was just surprised that it was something your style, because it's really more my style.
It is. It is much more your style. But, that's like something I would enjoy. It's not like what I would say catches my eye right off the bat, because I still have that, like, the youth of, I want the power. I want, different levels of sleekness. I want to be able to, but it does get me to stop. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Where I'm looking at it like, wait a second, why is that one special to me?
Well, they're only up in Stewart, so we'll have to go get you on board one.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Now that I know that you like it, I'll get you on board one.
That's cool.
So the next one of my favorite brands of all time. I mean, I never get enough of them. I love this brand. There's just something to it because it is so sleek, and that's the Maritimo, right?
Yeah.
And this one specifically is the M600. Now, the M600 is completely redone, right? And it is, we've covered this in other podcasts as well. I believe the Flibs preview.
Yeah.
Right? Because we did the M600 Black Edition.
We did.
Right? And then we also got some footage of that's going to be released here in the coming couple of weeks, maybe.
Yeah.
But this one is powered by Volvo Penta D13s and a 1,200-gallon fuel tank, and has a just under, I squeaked this one in under the radar at 1,000 nautical miles. But, again, and that's at 10 knots cruising. But this truly is a long-range cruiser, or could be a long-range cruiser. So we threw it in there. Besides, everybody loves a Maritimo.
Yeah.
The lines on a Maritimo are just, to me, the boat looks like it's moving when it's sitting still at the dock.
This boat looks like any wave that comes against it is going to move out of the way before it hits the hull.
It
like
really
that's what
does.
This boat looks like. You know what I'm saying?
It really does.
It looks like it's built to bully the ocean.
Right.
And I mean that in the best way possible.
I like how you put that. It really does look like it's meant to bully the ocean, because this is an Australian builder, and they have some very rough seas offshore out down there.
Yeah.
And you know what? Maritimo will probably just eat it up like it's no problem.
Yeah, I believe that.
Right? Now, the next one, this is one of my all-time favorite brands. I mean, I've got a lot of favorite brands, obviously. I mean, I can always find something to appreciate about them. But this one specifically, it's one that I cut my teeth on, actually.
Really?
In this business. So I'll let you go over it.
Were we talking about the Grand Banks 85?
Yeah, correct.
Grand Banks 85, people. That's what we're talking about now. So the Grand Banks, it's nearly 3,000 nautical miles in range. So again, definitely a long distance or a long range cruiser. It has an 87-foot 2-inch length overall with a 22-foot 2-inch beam. What I like about it is the fact that you can get it with an open or an enclosed flybridge. Because as much as some people like the flybridge, some people are a little more conscious about, how much sun they're taking in, even though they like to be outside, right? So they want to be able to have the balance. Some people just want the fresh air, and then they want to have, the cabin below, for example, for the privacy. So the fact that you have both options with it, I think is fantastic. The design is classic. It's elegant. It's beautiful.
Modern classic.
Yes, it is modern classic. It's there's no way you could look at that vessel without having to pause. So I love that one.
Right?
Yeah.
It's absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah.
So I'm going to finish this up with two, and I'm going to be very brief on them.
Okay.
Because it's two brands I thought that we have to include here.
Okay.
Right?
Sure.
So number one that I always enjoy talking about, you even send me pictures of them when you see them.
I do.
The Sirena 78. It just, something always strikes me about this boat, or their brand in general. I think it's the design cues that they have, especially their interior design, just always strikes me. It's very modern, very, it's just very well put together and thought out. And then the management team that they have, I think, is excellent. So I've always appreciated their brand.
I will say that I think their 78 is my favorite of their lines.
Other lines?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think the 78 probably would be my favorite, too. You know, we've been on board the 78, and it's just, I can never get enough of it. Every time I look at it, I'm just...
Yeah, this is very much your style, generally. Like, I would be like, oh, yeah, I'm glad that you like it. There's elegance to it, without a doubt. There's functional design to it that I think is incredibly intelligent. The way they place it, the way they put it all together. I think, seriously, it's an incredible vessel.
Now, what's interesting about this one is it has twin 1450 horsepower manned diesel engines, and it has a range of 1,550 nautical miles.
Yeah.
At a cruising speed of 10 knots.
Yeah.
So this is truly a long-range cruiser that can be used to go explore and explore an ultimate comfort.
Right.
To be honest with you.
Yeah.
I mean, because that's what this boat means to me. It means it's elegant. It just the livability of this boat to me equals comfort. And then the next one I'm going to get to me, is really, I've been waiting for the day that we're going to approach this. And I know it's going to become really more of a reality as we move forward into the future. And that is these silent yachts.
Okay, I was like, he's throwing me a curveball because we agreed on a certain amount, and
I'm throwing this one in only because I just have to, because it's really kind of a dream boat, right? When you think about it. So it is the Silent 62 3-deck Catamaran, and it is what they advertise as virtually unlimited range, because now when they go to the tri-deck style, you're talking about a more of the availability of putting a larger solar array on it, right? So at some point, when can you have enough power feeding in to constantly keep your batteries charged to provide a power source for electronic motors?
Yeah.
Right? And they are truly approaching that moment.
Yeah.
Now, you might not get wild performance numbers, but you can go cruise not eating gas.
I was going to say, yeah, as long as you're able to experience what you're choosing to experience, in this case, cruising a longer distance, then that's a big win.
Right. That's right.
It's a big one.
So I think it's just a matter of another couple of years before we see some more of these, and truly do start seeing unlimited range.
Yeah.
You know, and what you're using your fuel for is something other than propulsion or just emergency propulsion.
Right. Yeah, emergency propulsion, or for dinghies, right? Or something
Toys.
where it's like toys, or it could be something
Exactly
simple.
right. So it's a matter of time before it happens. They're truly approaching that moment. You know, so I'd be interested to go see it. You know, and again, it's something that I thought was worthwhile mentioning it.
Yeah,
so
it's a good point.
For now, that's the long-range cruisers. If you want to read the rest of them, because there's more than what we just covered, including other great bands like Arxon, Bering, and so forth, make sure to check this out. It's in our December issue of 2024. Beautiful Christmas cover with the lovely MJ M42 on the front. But until next week, I'm James Anderson.
I'm Ian Sneed.
Come back and check this out.
All right, that's enough of the chit chat. I don't even know how much of that is making it into a blooper, to be honest.
None of that's good blooper stuff.
No, that's
Besides,
just
my nails grow really freaking fast.
Yeah,